Hello, everyone. Welcome to Liquidity Narrative. Remember, we are mapping liquidity first, and then we choose structure over speculations. And every Sunday, we map liquidity to show exactly what we are looking at for the week, what the week holds for us. This is us showing institutional roadmap for the week. And let's dive in. As always, we are starting with Nasdaq, which is US Tech. As of last week, we're expecting Nasdaq to drop to take liquidity to the downside, and we are looking at this level to act as resistance, which price apparently respected. The review has been dropped in our channel. Look at for the review and see exactly what we narrate and what happened. So this week, what are we looking at on Nasdaq? So this is where we are on Nasdaq. What our narrative? What are we looking at on Nasdaq? Where is our draw on liquidity? Like we said, we are. The reason for this is not for price prediction. No, the objective is to apparently identify where liquidity sits and where price is likely to draw to, what is price apparently drawn to, and watch our price action at those levels to take our trade. So this week, where is our draw on liquidity? We have a daily range on the weekly time frame using this high and this low at this moment, and price is apparently a little bit above the equilibrium, sitting a little bit in the premium zone. So what are we looking at on Nasdaq, US Tech? So our draw on liquidity remain. We want to see price get into this level. Price will get to first this level, then the next one is this level, which is this low on the daily time frame. And where exactly are the liquidity pool? Where is liquidity sitting? So it will move to a lower time frame. This is what we are looking at. Our liquidity pool remain this level. So we want to see price maybe run out this liquidity level on drop into this fair value gap, which is a gap on the 4H. As you can see, it might get to this level. Remember, we said it's not prediction. We are mapping out where liquidity lies. So for us, liquidity pool lies on this level, till all these areas. But our draw on liquidity remain the downside of the market. We are watching price action at this level to take this trade down. Price might apparently open and respect this level and continue to go up. But we watch out this level that we mapped out. If we drop to the 1H, which the 1H or the 15-minute time frame, which we normally use. So we want to see price respecting this level. You might ask me the question, which liquidity pool is the price respect? Like I said, it's not prediction, but I'm looking at especially this level, this particular level, and this gap to hold together. Price might get to this level. I'm not expecting it to get above those levels, but we watch this level as we've mapped them out as the areas where liquidity sits. And our draw on liquidity on British pound also, like we said, remain the downside of the market. First this level, then next the lows on the daily time frame. So we watch those area for for Nasdaq, which is US Tech, moving to the next pair, which we are looking at, which will be the British pound USD. Starting from the weekly time frame on British pound USD, also, what are we looking at? What is our expectation? As of last week, we've done a review also on British pound USD. We're expecting price to run out this low, which price never did. Price reverse and started to go up. That's why we said we prefer to choose structure over speculation. So that's as at the week that just closed, markets return back into this other block on the weekly time frame. What is it for us? So if we drop on a daily time frame, what are we looking at? We want to see price drop to get back. So our draw on liquidity remain the downside of the market. We're expecting price to run out those old lows. But then our liquidity pools, where we are looking at liquidity to be run, like we said, is liquidity narrative. We want to see market running out liquidity above these levels, maybe getting back to this other block on the weekly time frame, maybe run out this previous week's high. It might get to this daily order block, which is this particular level before dropping. But if not, our draw on liquidity remain to this level. Remember, just like last week, price never get to the draw on liquidity. So learn to take partials as the market drop. Liquidity lies here before the market can get to this order block on the weekly time frame and this fair value gap on the daily time frame. These are the areas we are watching price to give us we are watching price to get to draw on liquidity to the downside. Liquidity pools lies above these areas, which we've already mapped out on British Pound USD. So watch this level. We are not predicting. It's just structure over speculations. So next, if we move to the next pair we are looking at, which is our Euro USD. So here we are on Euro USD. Moving also to the weekly time frame, we've also done a review, accountability review of what happened last week and how you would have taken advantage of it. So go into the market, go into the channel and watch out that. So also this is where we are. The Euro USD respected our drawn liquidity, ran out that. So this week here we are after taking out the lows on the daily time frame price return to this level. What are our expectation on Euro USD? We still have our daily range, which is this high and this low on Euro USD. So if we drop on the daily time frame, what are we looking at? We want to see price returning back to this other block on the daily time frame and maybe get to this other block on the weekly time frame before dropping down. So our draw on liquidity for Euro USD remain the downside of the market. We want to see price run out this low and before it could also get to this low. But first we watch this low. The next might be this low and this low. But then where are the liquidity pools? We move to the lower time frame using the one hedge. Our liquidity pools remain on the upside of the market. We want to see price right now. This liquidity get into this order block and maybe this weekly order block. It might get a little bit higher, but then these are the area we are watching price to give us a reason to take the trade to the downside. And is it at this level as the draw on liquidity? But remember, take partials as the market continue to drop on the downside. These are the areas we are watching at both on Euro USD, British Pound USD, and Nasdaq, which is US Tech. So we've mapped the liquidity based on structure over speculation, not our opinion, not what we think, but using structure over speculation. So watch this level on Nasdaq, British Pound USD, Euro USD for the week. All our draw on liquidity are the downside of the market, and all our liquidity pool lies above those areas. So this is it for us. Remember, our classroom educational videos drop within the week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And like the video, comment, and support Liquidity Narrative. Thank you for always dropping by. Have a lovely week. We'll see you again.